We're going to reveal our NBA All-Breakout team. These are players who have had a really hot start to begin the season, kind of their breakout. We're going to have 5 players at 5 different positions. We're going to go point guard all the way down to big men. My point guard and the first player who made my NBA All-Breakout team. It's probably the best guy on this list, the best example of this team, and it's Tyrese Maxey. He's averaging 37.5 points per game. His first 4 games, he has had 39 points, 43 points, 28 points, and 40 points. This was a guy who, back in the summer, I remember was in the same sentence as Cam Thomas, according to Joel. Now, Cam Thomas has had a pretty good start. He's had a 40.0 assist game, but Tyrese Maxey is doing it all and is winning. That is the difference. There's no hate towards Cam Thomas on the show. I feel nothing towards him. It's just the fact that Tyrese Maxey was on another level and now definitely is on another level. And I got to give him my props. He's my starting point guard for the NBA All-Breakout team.
Don't mention a 33-point and 9-assist game from Cam Thomas. I understand you need an agenda to push about Cam Thomas. Tyrese Maxey has been nothing short of incredible, and he's on my All-Breakout team as well. The Sixers have tremendous guard play with him, Edge Coleman, Quentin Grimes. And my All-Breakout team, I listed 2 per position because I feel like they need recognition. Tyrese Maxey, you already said everything that needed to be said. But my other point guard is Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins from the Milwaukee Bucks. He defends at a high level. He's bringing them offensive juice, and you see the team that Giannis has around him. We were much lower on it coming into the season, and it's still to be determined what they're actually going to do. But I think that they have added shooters to their team. The young players are ascending, and a player like Ryan Rollins, who I think should be the starting point guard moving forward, he gives them consistent play on both sides of the court, which is something that they haven't had even when Dame was there. So I think Rollins was awesome, and he was great against my Knicks.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought his name up. Milwaukee, I mean, this was a team who started 2-9 last season, and now you flip-flop to them where they are now at 3-1. That's a great start for them and very unexpected. I want to stick with the Sixers, though. Last year, when Joel Embiid missed the time he did and Paul George was absent the time he was, this was a throwaway season. It was a 25-win season. That's just not the case this year. And you're right, Tyrese Maxey is a huge reason why. VJ Edgecombe is a huge reason why, but I do have to give you your flowers. You banged the drum for Quentin Grimes all summer. He has been huge for them. They got him for cheap. Him coming off the bench and doing what he has done and the scoring output that he has had is a big part of it. And I think Philly fans can just sigh a sense of relief because it is not over. They do not rely on the health of Joel Embiid anymore. They don't rely on Paul George being better than he is or even actually playing a basketball game. They have enough and they have a direction moving forward. And Daryl Morey deserves a lot of credit. Everybody called about that number 3 pick. I don't know what the offers were. It was rumored that they were shopping it around for a month and a half, but after all the shopping, they didn't sell it, and they took VJ Edgecombe, which ultimately was the right move. My shooting guard on here is another guy that's just as obvious as Tyrese Maxey. It's Austin Reeves. He's averaging in the 30s thus far. He had a game winner on Wednesday night, and this point output is not just because Luka is out. I mean, before Luka got hurt, he was averaging 26 points per game. So he's had 51 and 41 in 2 of the last 3 games that he has played. Austin Reeves is definitely worth an all-breakout team, and he may be a max player, Joel.
The Lakers were in a conundrum where they have a lot of offensive talent, but they don't have much defense. And ultimately, that led to Austin Reeves being rumored to be the odd man out there. But given his contract, given how good he is, it's just hard to find any trade that if you're the Lakers, you feel comfortable with when you're shipping out Austin Reeves, and who knows if you're going to be getting back a player that is even remotely close to how good he is. Because offensively, he's a star, and we always talk about upscaling your game and can you be consistently productive with more opportunity when defenses are game planning for you. And we saw Jalen Brunson do that, going from the Mavericks to the Knicks. I think Austin Reeves, if he had his own team, could do something similar. I think that if you look around the league and you look at teams that need somebody offensively, they need a guy offensively. Austin Reeves is a very intriguing option. He's going to be a free agent this offseason. You're going to mention the heavy hitters. I'm going to go with the under the radar guys just so we have more names to mention. At shooting guard, I'm going to go with AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell has been outstanding for OKC. And I think OKC's biggest weakness last year was that they only had two ball handlers. That was Shea and that was J Dub. But outside of that, they didn't have anybody they could really trust to initiate the offense. And that's why they drafted Nikola Topic. But you look at this season now, AJ Mitchell has overtaken that role. And as a second round pick, he's looking outstanding. He can drive to the basket, he can play make at a high level. And it's crazy how the disparity between where a first round top five pick guy was drafted in like Reed Shepard
Yep.
and a second rounder in AJ Mitchell. And if you were to tell me today to
Yep.
pick between AJ Mitchell and Reed Shepard, I would say I think AJ Mitchell's the better basketball player.
100%. 100%. I think AJ Mitchell, his name deserves to be shouted out in this. It's just a testament to what Sam Presti continues to do with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think whenever I'm thinking about small forwards, I'm taking a page out of your book. You and I were texting about fantasy basketball recently, and you said you picked up a guy on fantasy waivers. His name was Kaishan George. He's averaging 20 points through 4 games. That is my small forward on this team. And I like our depth. If we were to make a 10-man rotation with these 10 guys, this is a playoff basketball team. I like where we're starting off.
I like Keyshawn George a lot. I did pick him up in fantasy basketball. My backup to him would be Jaime Jaquez. The
Mm.
Miami Heat are one of the better offenses in the NBA. They don't set a ton of ball screens. They're moving the ball. They're passing it around. They're setting more off ball screens. They're cutting well, and they're getting out in transition and they're running. I think the best thing about their offense is their drive and kick game. They generate a lot of catch and shoot opportunities, and they have a lot of role players that can knock down shots. And Jaime Jaquez is just a relentless force attacking the rim. He provides a mismatch advantage when he's guarded by smaller players. He has strength. He's crafty. He's not the most athletic guy, so he has to be more savvy and skilled, and he has good footwork. And Jaime Jaquez has been awesome. When Norman Powell has not played, he has overtaken that offensive role and been the number one option, and he's been great.
For sure. For sure. And whenever I'm thinking about power forwards and centers with the big man, I know Alex Sarr is a center, but I had to include another guy at that position. So I put Alex Sarr in my power forward. This is a guy who had 31, 11, and 5 against the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday night. He's averaging 19 and a half. And I think outside of Reed Shepard, we can make a case that we're going to feel a lot better about last year's draft class after their second season this year. And I think Alex Sarr is going to be a big reason why. I'm excited to see where he goes. Is it going to stick around 19 and a half? Is it going to dip a little bit? Is it going to get up towards 25 points per game? But Alex Sarr definitely deserves a nod 4 games in, averaging damn near 20 points a game.
And I like the fact that he has just been attacking the basket more. He's not settling for outside jumpers. It's kind of similar to the Victor Wembanyama story where
Mhm.
Wemby has really taken down that three-point volume and he's just been relentless attacking the cup. I'm going to go with Mataz Buzelis,
Love this.
who top three talent, and with the Bulls never tanking, they have to get lucky in the draft. They have to either get lucky with the lottery or lucky that a very talented player falls to them. And that was the case with Mataz Buzelis, who was looked at as a top three talent. It was just if that jump shot could come along. And with Chicago, he fits their play style perfectly. He's great in transition. He's a good slasher. He's a good cutter. And with how they like to play, unselfish, Josh Giddey being the lead decision maker and constantly moving the ball, he benefits from that a lot. And he had a big time game last night on Wednesday against the Sacramento Kings. So Mataz Buzelis is looking great for Chicago.
Yeah, through the first week or so of the season, now we're 8 days in, and Chicago Bulls are atop the Eastern Conference. Who would have thought 4-0 start for them? It's the first 4-0 start since the 2021-2022 season. If they win later this week and go to 5-0, it'd be the first 5-0 start since Michael Jordan was in uniform in Chicago. So Matas Buzelis definitely deserves this nod there. My center is the most obvious one of them all. We expected something great from Victor Wembanyama, but I remember speaking about this in the summer, and one of my bold predictions was he would average over 30 points per game, not just 26, 27, 28, but over 30, and he has done that. And what I did not predict is him simultaneously averaging 5 blocks per game. This is a guy who's almost had a triple double on blocks already. I believe he had 31, 10, and 9 blocks the other night, and he has been truly incredible. Yes, this was a predicted breakout, but I think it was one, faster, and two, the quantity and size of this breakout has been more than anybody expected.
There's going to come a point in time where players just stop testing him at the rim.
Yes.
It's already happening with the Toronto game where he didn't have a high total of blocks, but if you watched it, the players consistently were fearing to go up on him. And that's what's going to happen with Wemby. He patrols the paint and he allows nobody to get off an easy shot. Players are scared to shoot inside there because you think you have a good floater or a layup, and then he just comes out of nowhere and blocks it. So he's just a freak of nature. He's definitely the breakout player of the year, just taking his game to another level to where he is in the conversation to be the best player in the world. The other center I had was Walker Kessler on the Utah Jazz. His game has evolved. He's becoming a much more complete offensive player, which I think is great considering that he's also awesome on defense. But Walker Kessler, for whatever reason, he's been in trade talks for most of his time in Utah, but I don't think he's ever been somebody that Utah should trade. He's clearly a centerpiece of their team, and with how he's playing, he is trying to get paid this offseason, and I think he will.
I think he will too. And I want to talk about Utah's offense for a minute. Obviously, Lowry Markkinen dropped 50 the other night, but I was not expecting this team through 4 games to have the third largest points per game total in the Western Conference. They're averaging 126 points per game. That is incredible and speaks to Will Hardy. It's like everybody needs to be reminded how good of a coach he is. I said, and I had written down later in the podcast, I'm like, Will Hardy is the best coach to ever have a 34% or a 38% win percentage as a coach. Like, that does not equal what he is as a coach. And he's done a great job, and I've enjoyed watching them through the first couple of games. I'm glad you mentioned Walker Kessler, bro.
They just don't have the talent to consistently win.
Mm-hmm.
But with the draft and with tanking pretty much and getting high picks, hopefully they can finally build a competitive roster. So Will Hardy has a good team to coach, and even a top pick from this past draft. It's early, but Ace Bailey has not looked good at all.
Yeah, he has not looked good, and despite that, the Jazz has still had good vibes. And it takes patience from the top down too. Their owner Ryan Smith has constantly rewarded Will Hardy, and same with Lowry Markkinen. And it takes patience that, hey, they haven't won the lottery, but they're making the best out of what they have. And I think it's a testament to good ownership, and you see it in Detroit as well. I think back to Dan Campbell. You're the football expert on this show, but the way he started his tenure, going 0-8 and finally getting a win and getting kind of laughed at for crying after getting his first win as a head coach. And they start, I think it was 1-5 the second year, and end up finishing 8-9, knocking the Packers out of the playoffs in the second year. And the rest is history. They're the, contending Lions since then. It took patience in Detroit to build that. And I think it's going to take the same in Utah.
I agree.